everyone. I am Steve Bade. I am the City of Redding's Deputy City Manager. I oversee the Housing Division, and I also am the Director of Economic Development and Innovations. In respect to downtown, I am the Community Development Downtown Liaison, and we are out here today in the heart of downtown, and we're going to showcase what has been going on the last couple years in regards to the downtown streets, some projects that are around in this area and adjacent to this area. And I want to apologize that I wasn't able to join you on this Saturday afternoon, but I thought I'd give you a video clip of what's going on in downtown and what you can look forward to as a community. So this is really kind of a neat area right here. If you think about it, just so as some background, I grew up here in Redding. I was born in 1970, so I've been here. And back in the day, my grandma used to bring me us kids down here, and Sim Nathan was off to the to the left of me. And ahead of me would have been the old Rite Aid, and the ice cream parlor that was adjacent to that. And so you look around now and you start seeing how this area has transformed from that pedestrian mall that Larry Morgan was referencing, and what it is today, and how we are advancing our community with a different feel and the activities that's going to bring downtown. So it's really neat just to see the full history, and then also to be a part of it and actually see it come to life. When I was a kid, it was you were in a mall, and there were some active spaces, but there's only a few spots you can actually go to. It just never really took off, and so that was disappointing, I would say, at that time, as the Mount Shasta Mall took on its flavor. But I think the cool thing for me is, it didn't work. We as a community learned from that, and now we're applying what we know to recreate this space. And I think a lot of people are going to be super excited about what they get to experience in downtown. I started in downtown underneath Larry Morgan's guidance back in around 2006, 2007. I was really lucky to get selected by Larry to assist him in downtown redevelopment activity. So Larry and I worked in downtown. I learned from Larry, what was going to transpire in our downtown, and we had that first, efforts with the mall roof removal and creating a pedestrian plaza. Worked at some capacity. Then redevelopment died, and I guess Larry decided to retire. And so then they handed that over to me to kind of take things on. And so basically Larry left and all the money left, and we had to get creative. And so we needed to really keep our downtown specific plan active, and we wanted that to be a plan that was not going to just sit on a shelf. And so we made every effort to create partnerships with developers to keep downtown active and to transform as in that specific plan. Another plan that was taking on in the background was the downtown community-based transportation plan. And that was key because that transportation plan, in tandem with the specific plan, really wanted us to open up the grid in downtown. We didn't want downtown to be auto-oriented. We wanted it to be a mix of uses where you have bikes, you have pedestrians, you have access to transit. You wanted to create this vibrant space that invited all types of people into downtown, not just automobiles passing through. We want to create it as a destination. And so I've had the I guess fortitude, the luck, the blessing to actually have partnerships that we were able to go out and get additional funding from the state and be creative with that money. And that's what has been infused into downtown to create the streets, to create Market Center, and to create some of the new buildings and infrastructure that's going on around in downtown. We're right here on Butte and Market Street. I'm on I guess you could basically refer to as the southwest corner. You can hear some of the background noise that has changed. Today, back in 2008, 2009, Larry and I were here, and this is really that second roof removal project that we're standing in front of right now, where you see, you would have seen some pillars that had stained glass on them that were just remnants left over from that mall roof structure, and they kind of became an albatross around our neck that just wasn't leaving. But we tried to make the best of it during that time, and it really is like I guess it's a visual kind of relief now that those are gone, and those columns and that stained glass has been repurposed, reused, and now you're getting street lights, you're getting pedestrian intersections, you're getting art with the steam whistle project. You have, new rusted elements by potted plants and truncated domes, and we're looking at pavers mixed with broken up asphalt or broken up concrete. It's just it's a different feel down here. It took us, we're looking at like 12 years now to get to this transformation period, but you can just visually see how our patience and kind of our drive have gotten us where we are today. And so we're pretty excited about where we're headed. What I'm in right now is actually a common space for the tenants at Market Center. This building is one of the reasons why some of this redevelopment activity occurred in downtown. The city partnered with K2 Development and CRDC to get the funding, which is a combination of funding from the state and the federal government. The funding basically is, the foundation of it is really on an affordable housing project. Here we have 82 residential units that are combined with first floor commercial space that is going to be occupied by retail and commercial uses. This space here is really is an amenity for the tenants to really utilize this space as a common space. It has some nice outdoor planting boxes. It'll have wind sails above it to create a shade element, and you can overlook the street. So this project, the funding sources that we got is Affordable Housing Sustainable Communities funding, and we received $20 million from the state in order to make this happen. Now that's only $20 million that goes toward a portion of this building, and then about $8 million towards the street. So beyond that, you had another $32 million invested in this building for a total of $42 million to make this space happen today. And it's really a nice development partnership that the city was able to really kind of develop over time to make it happen. So it doesn't just happen overnight, it happens over many years to get to this point. And this building is it's fabulous. I mean, it has balconies. You can see those on the units where the tenants can come out and overlook this common space. They can interact with the street. So it's really an active space that puts eyes out here in the common space, eyes on the street, and really are becoming like a functional plus in downtown. So here we are. I mean, we're on the second floor of that Market Center building, up in that common space. And here we are, this perspective of, you can see the Sim Nathan building behind me. You can see some of those things I pointed to earlier, and you can see the street improvements and how they look from this second floor view, and really how that is going to create eyes on the street for this development. The other thing I like here is you're able to see some of the skyline changes. You can see the courthouse off in the distance, which is it's come up out of the ground and looking great. You can see some of the maybe you'll see in the Lorenz hotel out there in the distance, but really more importantly, you see how Market Street is transforming not just for today, but I mean, we anticipate there's a long-term investment and a long-term plan to really be a anchor in our community and that destination place we all kind of crave for. So right now we're underneath that Market Center building, and this is the underground parking facility. Back in the day, you would remember this being underneath Dickers, and at that time we had about I think there's 145 spaces. This space has changed. The city of Redding, in partnership with our funding sources, we reacquired the right-of-way along Market, along Butte and Yuba Street, which took away some of the space of the parking facility. So it's a smaller footprint for the parking facility, but now we have about 83, 84 parking spaces in this facility. And so it is open to the public. There are 33 spaces available to the tenants of Market Center. The rest, the other 50 spaces, are available to the public. And those are available to the public 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at $1 per hour with a maximum rate per day of $8. And so you're looking, there's plenty of parking down here. It's easy to access under Butte Street. Some of the newer features you're going to find out in a parking facility today is that we have bike lockers. And within these bike lockers, you're really starting to see, this is space that another type of a mode of transportation can participate with a new facility, and you can lock your bike up in this facility and it'll be nice and safe, protected. And so we have a few of these within this parking structure that are available to the community and to the tenants. So anyway, it's a great representation of how parking structures are changing and how we have transformed with it. So here we are at the Butte and Pine Market Alley. And what you can see from the street improvements that have been completed, you're seeing a raised intersection with pavers, a nice variety of pavers and colors. They're blending in with the rusted elements with the truncated domes. You have nice pedestrian lighting that's been incorporated and really designed by REU. It's been a great element to add into our streets. You've seen some of the landscape improvements. As you walk along, you can see where the building, the Market Center building, really the storefronts, when they become activated, they're really going to interact with the street well. You're going to see some outdoor dining spaces created, just really creating this atmosphere or this activity for the community to come down and enjoy this space. Other elements you might see as we get to the core, you'll see some rusted planter boxes that are really more of a safety item. They're really facilitating as like a bollard, but it gives us kind of a softened escape by having those plants inside that rusted element. There's some nice concrete benches so people can sit and hang out and enjoy the downtown, which also incorporates all the art that's going on, whether it's on a building or it's incorporated in the landscape, like the steam whistle project that's behind us. So there's a lot of nice elements that are creating this as a destination. It's going to be a place that people want to come down and spend time and hang out and really enjoy. Behind me is the Tahima and Market Street intersection, right in the heart of downtown. And basically how the street is going to work or being operated is you will be able to use the far westbound or the far west lane as you enter into this Market Street space. And just one lane southbound that'll take you down to the Butte Street intersection. At Butte, you can either go west or you can go eastbound, or you can continue down Market towards Yuba Street. There's some of the nice elements. We mentioned the parking spaces underneath Market Center, and that differentiation between there used to be 145 spaces down there, now there's only 83, 84. Well, we made up the difference on the street, and the street is really bringing in the parallel parking. So you'll head south on Market Street, you have parallel parking on both sides, which is adjacent to outdoor active spaces at the restaurants. And so it's going to bring some good close proximity parking as you come into downtown and use the space. As you transition down towards Butte Street, there is a transition with Market where it does have an elevated raised intersection, and that is done to be more pedestrian friendly. There's no curbs on that type of intersection, and so you're able to walk and just be free as pedestrian access that space. You can sort of visually see it as you look down in that intersection of Butte and Market. And so really you can see how these elements or these amenities that have been incorporated in the street design are really coming together. And the next 3 weeks probably you're going to see traffic activating this space, and not just automobiles. It's going to be pedestrians, it's going to be bikes, and it's going to be a great nice infusion in our downtown. All right, I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the downtown Market Street and our street circulation project. I hope you've seen where we infuse some good kind of nods to the past with the amenities, and also we're activating this space with to make it that destination for the community. And so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to contact me at the City of Redding, or you can always catch updates at our City of Redding website, cityofredding.org/downtown. Thank you.